right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first Q&A meeting. This is really exciting for all of us. We're really excited to be able to answer people's questions and really get to know all of you and get to know our community that we're trying to build. Before we begin with our Q&A, the team and I are going to go around and do a little round of intros. We'll be making bigger intro posts later on in the week. So we'll go more into detail about who we are, what we're into, but for now we're just going to do really short intros. So I'll go first. I'm Emily. My pronouns are she, her. I am a current BFA technical theater student at Brooklyn College. I'm planning to graduate in 2022. So I got 2 more years. I'm currently concentrating in stage management and trying to move kind of into the world of props. That's where my interests lie. And I would say my biggest advocacy cause is mental health. I'm a very big mental health advocate and trying to end mental health stigma. So Erika, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Erika. I'm a BFA at Brooklyn College with a focus in costume design, which I've been working on shows in that field for a few years now. And I'm also interested in prop design and sound as well. And I guess Jess could go next if she'd like.
Cool, I'll go next. I'll take one for the team. Hi, I am Jessica, or everyone calls me Jess. Either one's fine. Pronouns, right. I'm fine with whatever pronoun. I am a alumni. I recently graduated from Brooklyn College with a BA in theater. Woo-woo. I didn't really have a focus, but ended up being in costumes, and that's where I've lived now. Also have interests kind of everywhere, delved a little bit into directing, so might do that. Also, to the surprise of no one, I'm gay as shit, so there's gonna be a lot of gay shit that's gonna happen. All right, Andrea?
Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Andrea. My pronouns are she, they. I'm a commission artist and costume designer, BFA in costume design. That's my focus. Also at Brooklyn College. Spoiler alert, all Brooklyn College. I'm actually very excited to be a part of this, and everybody on this Zoom call right now are very inspiring to me, and I love them all lots.
Yay. Alrighty, and to finish off the segment of this group, my name is Z Buxton. I am a BFA in theater and design at Brooklyn College. My focus is scenic painting, so a lot of the latest work that I have started picking up at the college has been through scenic painting or learning how to be a scenic charge, because it's good to be in control. My pronouns are she, they, and I plan to graduate in 2021, so.
Thanks, guys. So again, before we get into the general Q&A, we just want to talk about a couple things regarding Alliance of Creatives. We're really, really excited to get started on new projects. So one of the things you really want to emphasize is if you are interested in working with us, please, please, please fill out our interest form. When you fill out our interest form, it provides us with your contact information, and we are able to organize people into categories based on what they're interested in. And it allows us to create email lists, so that way when we do have projects coming up, we can contact people based on what they're interested in. So currently we're building up lists for each individual design focus. We have a separate list for actors, directors, etc. So it's really important, if you want to be contacted for future projects, to fill out the interest form. Andrea has dropped the link in the chat for anyone who is interested in filling that out. And then we just want to talk about the upcoming projects we do have. So our most recent project we have coming up is our October reading. We'll be reading the script for the movie Knives Out, which is super exciting. And we will be sending out a casting call email type thing very, very shortly. And that will take place on the weekend of Halloween. And then after that, we will be announcing our first play, which is set to go up in late December, right between Hanukkah and Christmas. We are still deciding what that play is going to be. We have a couple of ideas in mind that we are incredibly excited about, and we're really excited to share those with you guys. So keep an eye out on our social media and on your email for messages regarding those things. So now that that's all settled, let's get into questions. Does anyone have any general questions about us, about our company? Let's hear them. Let's do it.
Hi, my name is Danielle and I'm an actor. Also a recent alumni of Brooklyn College and coming to you as the artistic teacher of depression. So my question to you is sort of like what inspired this company. I'd really love to know.
Can I answer? Is that fine? Okay, cool. So the world shut down. Theater shut down, everything collapsed because of COVID. And it basically started as a very small idea between Emily, who speargunned the whole idea, so props to Emily, Andrea and I, when we decided to put together a little impromptu production of M Butterfly with Michael Page, who we love, and we really enjoyed doing that process. So Emily kind of just like came to us one day and was like, "Hey guys, what if we just keep doing this, but like officially?" And then we brought in Giselle and Erika and just kept talking about it and kept bringing it together until we all just came together and were like, "Nah, let's actually do this." And then we did, and now we're here.
Very cool. New question, also for me. What was your decision-making process for Knives Out?
I'll answer that question. We knew that there were going to be a lot of options for what an October reading would look like, because obviously you want to do something spooky for the Halloween season. So the five of us kind of like talked about it. We were like, okay, what will likely appeal to people the most, and also what are we actively interested in doing? We kind of narrowed down a list of movies that we all enjoyed. We also considered things like cast size. You know, you don't want to have a movie that's too small where you only cast like a couple people, but you also don't want to have a script that has so many people that it would be impossible to cast if no one is interested in it. So we considered things like cast size, interest in our community, interest amongst us, and we picked a couple of options that we thought fit that the best. And then we were like, we can't be the only ones making this decision, so we wanted to make sure that our community has the opportunity to decide what they want to work on. That is like one of the most important things to us. So we put out a poll and we were like, hey, amongst these decisions or amongst these choices, what would you want to read the most? And Knives Out just ended up getting the most votes. So that's how I went with that.
Cool. So what forms do you guys see yourself working in, if any? I don't know what's decided.
So we plan to do a lot of our stuff over Zoom. We have a lot of ideas of how to kind of adapt works to fit over Zoom, which we're really excited to pursue. And that's kind of our main focus right now. Hopefully when the world opens back up, we will be able to perform live in theaters again, because ultimately that is what we all want to do. But even if that is the case, we would still want to continue some online programming, because we have gotten people from different parts of the country who have asked us like, hey, we know you're New York based, but like, can we also participate? And the answer is absolutely. We want to be able to cater to as wide of an audience as possible in the future. Right now we are focused on the Brooklyn College community, because they are a community that's kind of like very much in need right now, with not only the things going on in the world, but with what's going on with the school, particularly the theater department. So they are our main audience right now, but we want to make sure that is as open to people as possible. So currently, mainly over Zoom. We would love to explore other mediums. Hopefully, maybe in the future, we're live, and that would be great. Live and in person, in the flesh.
What keeps you, like, what about this company is making you, like, hopeful? Because it's clear from the way that you talked about being involved that you're, like, really interested in doing this, like really committing, and I just like I love that energy. I'm wondering like what is it that's pulling you?
I think for me, sort of going off of Emily's last point, there's an accessibility that I really like about remote theater that I think I love the idea of us continuing to do this even if we do get a physical space, because there's like an element of like limitation when you're in a physical venue. Like that element, and I think that's a really I also haven't dealt with of like, but it's a live performance, but there's one element of film because there's cameras and like sort of toying with the definition of theater that I find really interesting about it, and seeing how that kind of plays out and how that experiment works. And just I like the idea of more people being involved in decision processes, especially like creative decision making. I feel like it's always better to hear from more people, and especially, you know, when you're trying to reach out to a wide audience to kind of, you know, work on shows that, you know, the creative team and the people that are going to be like putting the work into it are interested in, but also making sure that it's that's going to resonate with your audience. And I feel like the focus that we currently have, and I hope that we keep on sort of communicating with both, you know, people on both sides of the performance, is something that's really important to me.
One thing that I really enjoyed about like us coming together as a theater company and kind of opening it up for like access to all is kind of like allowing those who have been kind of concentrated in one area of theater to kind of explore. So in our interest form, we like let people check off everything that they're interested in when it comes to theater. So whether you be an actor that's like, I really want to try props, like you can ask for that and we will consider you for a prop role come our future productions. Same thing with like if you're a costume designer and you're like, hey, I want to act, or hey, I want to direct. We've also had like a bunch of people who are like dramaturgs and playwrights, and everyone kind of just like filing in on this interest form. And it's super cool to see like people we have always seen be an actor kind of be like, no, but I also write plays. No, but I also like to design costumes, but I would also like to do this. And I think giving people that opportunity to kind of explore their creativity and be able to like dip their toes into different things and enjoy what they do is something really fun and fresh. And I don't think it's done as often as it could be. So like for us to have that option for people, I think is super nice.
Well, I guess I gotta go refill the interest form.
Yeah, I think one of the most exciting things for us has been, like Andrea said, there was at least one interest form where we saw someone who we like normally know as an actor be like, hey, I kind of want to try this thing. And we're like, yes, please. Like someone actually wrote like, I kind of want to try other things, even though this is what I'm normally known for. And that's exactly what we're trying to like push for, is like, if you're not, even if you haven't like done costumes before, but you're interested in it, like let us know. We want to give you that opportunity, because that's something I think that we can really provide for people that other places don't necessarily emphasize or try to provide. So Duke just asked a question. Do you guys have a schedule of upcoming performances / readings? Kind of. So as I kind of said in the beginning, we have our October reading coming up, which will be in the weekend of Halloween. We're not entirely sure what date is yet. We want to kind of figure out our casting a little bit and get dates from them a little bit to make sure that we can accommodate them and have a good day for our cast. So that is TBD. We will be announcing, and in that same weekend, our first play, which will go up, like I said, between Hanukkah and Christmas, so kind of like mid to late December, one of those weekends. But that will get announced at the end of October, and then casting and auditions will happen kind of like end of October, beginning of November. So that'll give us like a month of rehearsals, approximately. So yeah.
And also the casting. The casting call should be out by like the end of this week. I think that's what we're aiming for, just so we can for the reading, just so we can start that ball rolling and see who we can get.
And just to reiterate, it's super important for you to fill out the interest form, because that is how you will get your casting call / audition emails. So please, once you have your interest form filled out, make sure to keep an eye out on your email. If you see an email from us, open it. Thank you. That would be appreciated.
Yeah, and I since we're kind of already on the topic of it, readings are something we are planning to do monthly because we can't do a production every month. It would just be a lot of time that a lot of us don't have. But we are trying to do readings every month. We want to try and keep projects happening for people. And we're also trying to keep readings like very low stakes. You know, it's just for fun, to keep creative juices flowing, to explore new material that maybe we haven't been able to read before. Readings also kind of let us do works that we wouldn't be able to do for productions because of cost of rights and things like that. So it's just a very low stakes, very fun thing that we're trying to do, again, monthly. But who knows, maybe we'll change that schedule once we get a little more into like doing our productions and doing readings. Like, things are always subject to change. Once we get more comfortable with kind of what our company is becoming, you might see some changes, probably for the better, hopefully for the better. So yeah.
What's it like being, for you, a full-time college student and a person running a company? Because that was something I had to learn.
It is definitely a challenge to be in school and also try to run this theater company. But it is a very welcome challenge because I personally ended up taking a lot of lecture classes this semester and not a whole lot of theater classes. Similar reasoning to Andrea of like, I just don't know how to do design classes online. So while it's been a challenge, this has also been a very welcome kind of like creative escape. To be able to continue to do theater even though I'm still doing classes online. It's a very nice kind of like creative thing to do. And it just keeps kind of like I said before, I'm a stage manager, so running something like this kind of keeps my stage manager juices kind of flowing, like fills that kind of a gap. I don't know, Erika, do you have words about this? Because I know you're in a very similar situation.
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely in a similar spot. I too learned from last semester that I do not do as well in an online learning environment. So my strategy was I took less classes. I don't know, it feels kind of like a cheat answer, but that's basically how I've been able to do this. Is I recognized my limits, and I decided that I would get more out of my Brooklyn College experience if I took less classes and, jumped on these opportunities than if I tried to, since I was lucky enough that I can, extend my time at Brooklyn College, that I should take advantage of that so I can take advantage of these opportunities as well. So that's basically how I dealt with it.
As someone who is also finishing up and taking my classes in Brooklyn College, to reiterate off of what Emily was saying, it is a challenge because we have pretty much been tossed into this entirely new environment of switching from being in person to online, and just balancing that and work. Definitely want to try and create just a better environment for ourselves, for other students, just trying to figure out how to go forward with where we are, because obviously we don't see this as something that's going to last forever. But for however long it does last, we don't want this to be a part in our work, or better, in our careers, where we just sitting around waiting for that next chapter to begin. Might as well try and figure out how to make this chapter of our lives work, especially in the fields that we do. I know in my case, with me focusing on being a scenic painter, it is strange, but at least in this type of setting with, what we were saying earlier about giving people who do one focus a chance to look into the other focuses that they either didn't have time for or just simply curious about. I just think it's nice because we can at least open up that type of path for them to try. And I know in my case, it is definitely something that I get to try because it's an option that I get to take now. So why not take advantage of it?
Well, I'm thoroughly inspired by you guys, you know that, but I'm going to say it for the sake of the recording because everybody needs to know. And thank you for answering all my questions, and I can't wait to get involved, so I'm going to go click on that interest form. Thank you so much for making time for this, and I can't wait to work with you. See you soon.
Of course. Thanks so much, Daniela, for coming.
One of the main things that I know I want to put into this is I want to make this a space that's completely, I mean, I won't entirely be stress-free, but want to make it a as positive as possible space, because college in general right now is not where anybody wants it to be. Everything's online, especially for people like us who are in theater. You can't really do design classes online because it doesn't really work. So there's stress with that, and then doing everything through Zoom. So I just kind of want to make this company a place where you don't have to worry about all of those things. You can just be the creative person you want to be. Whatever you want to do, we will work with you to let it come out into the world and just like make it just how you want your theater life to be, and whatever you want to like get out there in the world.
Definitely. We really just want to provide as much opportunity as we can to our fellow artists is kind of our main goal, is providing opportunity and providing the best opportunity that we can, I think is the best way we can kind of phrase it. So do we have any other questions from any of our audience members? I'm really glad to see a couple more familiar faces and names. It's nice. It's nice to see you. I mean, if we have no other questions, we can kind of end this session a little bit early. We do encourage everyone to get some sleep, treat yourselves well, take care of yourselves. It's a stressful world out there. We're just trying to make it a little easier on you. So yeah, we really hope to work with you all in the future. Please take care of yourselves and have a wonderful night. Thank you, everyone.